Jim Jones still don't like Pusha T. What up, words? Boy Charles Brown back again, talking facts. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe, hit the notification bell. Keep sending those Cashapp to CLBMG. Join the membership. Listen. Capo. Jim Jones still got a problem with Pusha T, and he is not letting up. He'll play nice in the beginning, and then he'll let you know how he really feels. I want to talk about this because Jim Jones was asked about the Clip's new song, Ace Trumpets. Why you're asking him about that is only one reason, is clickbait, rage bait. You're looking for a comment to come out that's going to be very divisive or engaging, because there's no reason to ask Jim Jones how he feels about a Pusha T record, knowing that their history is not that clean. I want to get into this conversation, okay? Jim Jones trashes the Clip's Ace Trumpet. He has had issues with Pusha T and the Clips in the past, and it seems like he could be reigniting their feud. I don't think that he cares to be reigniting anything. I think he just speaks his mind and says what he says. Now, Jim Jones is making some of the best music of his career. I listened to Jim Jones stuff once and I move forward, but I listen to Pusha T rotation. When this album drops, I'm probably going to hear it probably 20, 30 times. Now, with that being said, Jim Jones, like I said, has stepped his game up tremendously the last 5 years, like especially after he signed the Tidal. Now, I'm sure the Tidal deal is over and dead and gone, but he was signed to, Rock Nation, not Tidal, when he was rocking with Jay for a minute. After he one of the main detractors of Jay-Z, one of the biggest diss records when Jay-Z was coming back with Kingdom Come, and Jay-Z came out with that, he came out with some record talking about sandals on the beach. Jim Jones and pretty much the whole Dipset burst out and laughed all together. They was like, man, I don't know what your boy doing. They was one of the first, because Jim Jones was one of the people very disrespectful to Jay-Z. They wanted to, they didn't like the way the Rockefeller Records thing. They're Dame Dash mans, right? They rock with Dame Dash. They Harlem niggas accordingly, right? So allegedly, right? And so they had issues with Hove. So Jim Jones was one of the biggest Hove haters at the time, but they patched that up after years grown man shit. They moved on, and Jay-Z signed when he was working Tidal, trying to get Tidal to make some actual money. Never did, but he signed Jim Jones, and at that point, Jim Jones came back with some smackers. I'm just gonna be honest. Jim Jones was making the best music of his career. I used to say Jim Jones was the worst rapper in Dipset back in the day. He was the weakest link in the whole Dipset, and over time, Jim Jones took the craft more serious, and he got better. I'll be honest. He got better than quite a few of them. He was giving them a run for their money. I'm just going to be honest. So right now, he's making some of the best music of his career. It is comparable to what Pusha T does. It is comparable, but I'm saying this because what he said about how he doesn't believe Pusha T. Now, I'm just going to be honest, and this is just my opinion about Jim Jones' music and what he says, that he doesn't believe Pusha T, which I'm going to continue this article in a second. I would much rather listen to Pusha T's coke rap over Jim Jones's thug and coke rap, right? I believe Pusha T way more than I believe Jim Jones. Now, Jim Jones, to me, sure, he dabbled in criminal activities 100%. There is no doubt about that. But at the end of the day, I feel like it was more in a goon capacity, right? It was more in the muscle capacity. I'm coming with 50 dudes and we're going to rough up everybody. That's different. Like, that's not cocaine rap to me. So when you're listening to elegance of, like, you know what I'm saying, some straight up drug tales, street tales, no one does it better than Pusha T. It's much more engaging. It's just a better mix of what he did and done. And I know a lot of you people are like, oh, he's still being a drug dealer. Well, you go to watch movies and you don't have no problem with them being drug dealers in the movies. You're sitting there watching BMF. You don't have no problem watching that shit. You're watching Power. You don't have no problem watching that, right? It's all entertainment, right? But you don't have no problem with that. But when Pusha T does the same thing with a pen and a paper that these script writers are doing for these TV shows you're watching and these movies, you have a problem with it. Oh, he's doing cocaine rap. Well, it's entertainment. And some of us prefer that form of entertainment, okay? Just before we go any further. So when I listen to this type of rap and hip hop, I prefer Pusha T's version over Jim Jones' version, because for one, as I'm watching Jim Jones over the years, he seems more inclined to be the one where they'll send to do the dirty work, as opposed to the one being the boss of the dirty work. So when I listen to this kind of music, I don't really listen. I don't really want to hear goon talk, right? I don't want to really hear a lot of goon talk. So in regards to these two artists, I just prefer Pusha T. But when he was asked about Pusha T, that was a roundabout way to just get there, right? Jim Jones has issues with Pusha T in the clips in the past, and it seems like he could be reigniting their feud. A lot of fans have been chanting, real hip-hop is back as of late. That's because the impending comeback from the album Let God Sort 'Em Out by the Clips has many eager to hear the project in full, and thanks in large part to its singles. They have been making a lot of noise. They've been dominating a lot of the news cycle. They've been making all of us comment because he's been saying some really crazy things about Kanye and Travis Scott, and he's just been letting his feelings be known. Okay, let me continue. The most recent of which dropped yesterday on the duo's YouTube channel. So Be It. Once again, Pharrell Williams put together a marvelous beat. Pharrell is in his bag with these guys. I think Pharrell has out-of-body experiences when he does these guys' beats, because some of these beats, man, it's like, who would make this beat for anyone on earth other than the Clips? Pharrell is in his bag. He's about to give us another masterpiece. Pusha T has not missed. He has not missed to me. I don't know about you, but he has not missed to me, and I know a lot of people are online like, yo, like, why do we have to get this kind of music again, because we want it. They like, Pusha T has no hits. They got this little meme going around. The Drake fans, they love these numbers. Only thing that matters to them is numbers. So they got this little meme where it says, it has Pusha T's face, and then it says hits 0 and number 1 0. And that meme has been going around for about 4 weeks, where every time there's a Pusha T article, one of these OVO whole ass dudes got to put that in there. Yeah, he has no hits and no number ones, but yeah, this is your guy. Like, they don't understand. We don't care, gang. I don't listen to music just because how much streams it got. That's some OVO shit, right? That's some goofy shit. I'm just gonna be honest. None of that shit you're talking about with these hit records is in my ride anyway. So I don't care how many platinum plaques this guy has or don't has. I'm going to listen to his music over and over with a lot of other people. That's why he keeps coming out. That's why he keeps having these record deals with Def Jam, this, that, and the third. And whatever happened with Def Jam is irrelevant. He's right back again. Right now he's in Rock Nation. So people obviously want to hear this man. I know he's in his 40s, but he's in the prime of his life. So with that being said, the album is getting a lot of feedback. The most recent of which dropped yesterday on the duo's channel. The internet has been losing their marbles over this teardown of Travis Scott. Push goes in on rapping, you cried in front of me, you died in front of me. Calabasas took your bitch and your pride in front of me. Heard Utopia had moved right up the street, and her lip gloss was popping. She ain't need you to eat. She was talking about Travis Scott and the Kardashian sister that he was with for a time, and for a time it was good. He then goes on for the final gut punch. The net gonna call it that way that they see it, but I got the video. I can share it and AE it. They wouldn't believe it, but I can't unsee it. Luckily, I ain't TMZ it, so be it, so be it. Now, he never threatens. You know what? He never really threatened to release it, right? But at the end of the day, I kind of was like, I didn't really like that line about I have a video, but he's not saying he's going to release it. He said he's lucky I didn't release it. I feel like I agree that he can speak his mind. Some of this is a little far. I'm just going to be honest, a little much. Like, he's telling it, just tell the story. You know what I'm saying? We don't need to know it's a video out there, but that's just me. This track is certainly getting all of the attention right now, but Ace Trumpets, the lead single, was just as stupendous. In similar fashion, Pusha took direct shots at another former good music label mate, Kanye West. Get his ass. Like, this is really, I'm gonna be honest, Kanye West, to me, deserves all the smoke he gets from Pusha, because Pusha was super loyal to Ye, and Ye, once again, even though he deserved it, when I want to say Pusha kind of disavowed what he was talking about, he said, I do not support this stuff that Kanye is saying, because Kanye was just wacky at the time. He didn't say, I don't love Kanye West, I'm leaving Kanye West, I'm against Kanye West. All he said was, I don't support the message that he's bringing. Kanye took that, ran with it, disowned them, went and called him every name in the book on some sucker shit. So yes, he deserves to get the smoke. And I'm not even going to say Travis Scott, he went too far on Travis Scott, because Travis Scott do some sucker ass shit too. I'm just going to be honest. But this thing about the video, I should have TMZ, we don't need to know that, but everything else, get his ass to. It is what it is. Let me keep this moving. This track is certainly getting a lot of attention right now, but Ace Trumpets, the lead single, was just as stupendous. This cut was also receiving tons of praise, but it seems like it wouldn't strike a chord with one rapper in particular. That would be the New York native Jim Jones. I went all the way around the Marbury Bush to get back to Jimmy, and we're going to talk about Jimmy. All right? In a clip caught by Big Business on X, Bootleg Kev asked him if he liked Ace Trumpets while backstage at the BET Awards. It was a fair question to ask as Jim Jones gives Pusha T and Malice their flowers seconds before. So they started talking about them, so he thought it was safe to ask him this question. He goes, shout out to Pusha T, shout out to the Clips, congratulations on whatever they got going on. That is facetiousness. If you can't understand that, then he's being cordial, right? If I say, yo, good, shout out to you, bro, whatever you got going on. That's kind of like condescending. I'm just going to be honest. But I guess I'm just going to take it for face value that he was being genuine, right? So at that point, Bootleg Kev asked him about the single. And Jim Jones was confused as to why he thought so highly of it, because he was going on and on about, yo, this record is dope. That, as most of us are. Most of us who don't have previous issues with Pusha T going to say, yo, that record's fire. But apparently Jim Jones wasn't here. He wasn't hearing none of that. So he said, what's so great about it? It's good in what? The nostalgic value of it? I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't believe them, right? So once again, this was his thing before. He don't believe Pusha T. He don't really, like, you know what I'm saying? He just has an issue. And I think this is my thing. And I said it already. And this is far from disrespectful to Jim Jones. This is just my assessment. Like I said, Jim Jones is in the streets. Jim Jones, since you've heard of him, goes 30, 40 deep with goons everywhere, right? So if you're from the streets like I am, you realize there are two different power structures out there. You got the hustler and you got the goon. Jim Jones is a certified goon. So he looks at everything with goon logic, right? Okay? I don't know if you can follow me, but to him, somebody that's claiming to be this hustler with all this money, he can't see that on you. In his mind, he's looking at Pusha T like, that shit you're talking don't resonate with me, cause I move around like a goon. So your shit, this fucking all this rich shit you're talking, it doesn't resonate to me. So he says, I don't believe him. Okay, he'll believe an MOP, that type of shit, over what this guy's talking. And maybe he feels he knows more what this guy got going on, but they clearly have history. Pusha T clearly has a heavy, his former partner, I believe, may still be in prison to this day. I don't think he's getting out over dealing drugs that he was with him doing. Okay, so you can't say I don't believe him, because the nigga is really connected with that street life. So you can't say I don't believe him. But to him, if you're not connected in that harsh, the way that he does business, then he doesn't believe it. Everybody from the street knows that certain people, they look at you soft if you don't act like they act, right? So that's how I'm taking it. I'm taking it that Pusha T don't act like him, so he's looking at him in a certain kind of way. He added that, but that's a whole other story, and I don't want to downplay nobody's craft. But I don't listen to their music and never have. I don't recall too many records that I can remember. That's condescending, and that's low-key disrespectful. So he has no affinity. He doesn't rock with Pusha T. Mind you, Pusha T dissed Drake, and he's a big Drake supporter. Drake brought Dipset on stage a couple years ago. He brought Dipset on stage probably 2-3 years ago in the pandemic, and they was gushing. They was excited. They've been trying to get lockstep with Drake ever since. So Pusha T not feeling Drake is another issue. So it's a whole lot of stuff going on. It's deeper than just, yeah, I don't really like the song. It's deeper than that. He has issues with him, and he's not gonna be tiptoeing around it too long. He's gonna sooner or later say, I don't rock with this dude, which is what he actually did. So let me continue. It's worth mentioning that Pusha and Jim specifically had a beef as recently as 2023. It seemed to have started after Capo disagreed with the Virginia rappers ranking on Billboard and Vibe's top 50 rappers of all time. Now, let's just be honest. Well, that's another thing it's another issue that he got to have a problem with. But saying he don't belong on there is disrespectful. You're being disingenuous. Now, I believe he had a problem with his placement, or he wasn't on it. One or the other. Either Jim Jones was on the list, but he was placed too high in his mind, or he wasn't on the list at all. I don't remember, but I know he had an issue with Pusha being on there, which I told you stems from his love of, or his newfound desire to be aligned with Drake. So he didn't like him being on there, and he talked about it. He passionately argued, what has he done that puts him in the greatest rappers of all time? Besides talk about cocaine that he probably didn't get himself, okay? He feels he knows something that happened down in Virginia, and he feels like Pusha T is doing a whole lot of swelling, right? I tell you, dudes look at things different. Now listen, let me just break that statement down. He said he talked about a lot of cocaine that he probably didn't get himself, right? Now, that's a goon thinking you got to touch the product. That's goon shit, okay? Do you understand what I'm telling you? He can't think like Beyond. I'm a nigga in a high rise that just tell everybody what to do. I facilitated. I never touch. I'm never in the same room with the cocaine. He can't process that because a goon want to go down and touch it, stick their finger in it, put it on their guns. It's goon behavior versus a nigga that does it differently. So he doesn't believe him. And by him not believing him, he can't stand the respect that he gets for this stuff he says because a goon don't do business this way. And are you following me? If y'all still in the room, that's what's going on. He doesn't resonate with the way Pusha T talks about doing his business with all his fly shit. He flying to Paris, blind all the shit, and the shit is over there. It's a whole deal going on in Miami while he's in Paris. He can't relate to this shit. I'm just gonna be honest. This is just my opinion, gang. Right? Just my opinion. I just talk my opinion. Okay? So let me continue. He said he probably didn't get himself. He could rap his ass off. But what has he done? Nobody has dressed like him. Nobody want to be like Pusha T. I don't remember nothing. Now, I disagree a lot. That whole billionaire bad boy, that billionaires boys club, a lot of niggas that vape. Niggas wasn't wearing vape. What we talk about? So this is clearly a dude. He just mentally can't lock in with the way he does his rapping so he can rap his ass off. It's like Freddie Gibbs. Freddie Gibbs a rapping ass nigga. He just tell you that himself. But a lot of people are like, where you do all this cocaine, all this da-da-da? So people want to see it. They want to see your goon shit, da-da-da. And they want to feel like what you're saying sounds real. So to him, it don't sound real. But like I said, if you're moving, there's different ways to do the whole drug game, gang. Everybody isn't muscling with 30 guys coming to, you know what I'm saying? So it's just a difference of the way they both conceive what they do in their own job. And a lot of you people are like, I don't care about the drugs, this and that. Well, I don't know why you even just found a video if you don't care, because these two guys, that's all they talk about. So this is what the video's about. So at the end of the day, I believe that that Jim Jones got a lot of agendas when he comes out and disrespecting Pusha T. And I saw somebody on Twitter was like, yeah, Pusha T got all this smoke for Travis Scott, but not a word for Jim Jones. Now, I disagree with that because Travis Scott, this shit just happened, right? And Pusha T just said this comment. So I think give it some time. Be patient. He will address it. He will address it. And I know Pusha T don't move around like Jim Jones, but he does move around. He's going to be all right out here. I get it. Jim Jones move around different. He move around heavy, right? He moving around like he wish a nigga would type of moving around. He moving around with a lot of goons and this, that, and the third. But I think Pusha T going to be all right, okay. I think he'll be okay. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think he's like terrified to speak his mind on this situation. And it won't come to that anyway, right? Remember how, let's be honest, Jim Jones caught Freddie Gibbs down in that steakhouse. They got his ass good, right? And he won't speak on it, but he got him. So I don't know if that's something that Pusha T gonna have to worry about. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. This is rap. It's hip hop, and some dudes move around like that. But that's all I'm gonna say about this. I can get deep into this, but I don't want to. So I'm gonna leave it at that. CLBMG, man. Let me know what you think in the comments. Is Jim Jones really just hating on Push, or does he have a point? Maybe he has a point. I don't know. All right. Black-Yeti.com. Head over there. Let them know who sent you. Black-Yeti.com. They got new flavors over there. Check them out. Also, every Wednesday, we go live on the What Show, Wednesday nights. Me, TJ, and Flav, we talk about hip-hop. We probably will be discussing this. Make sure you tune in. We get a lot of people in the chat. Make sure you one of them. Also, we got a new show on Mondays. It's called Underground Edge. It's going to be videos of people that I like, such as myself and others, Flav and TJ. Episode Volume 1 is already up. Go check it out and let me know. We got a lot more coming. It's just going to be every Monday. We're just going to load it up. A lot of you don't know that we really, really artists out here. So we really got music, all right? I'm going to catch y'all on that flip side. Peace.
Look, mission impossible to drop a few lines without dropping old times when Southern Hill was still a gold mine. When pistol grips was my shit and I sold mine. When Alias was not a show and they told mine. Elevate your mind with high quality THC infused products. BlackYeti.com. Black-Yeti.com.
CLB.